Hello, and today we're going to be learning about the toString method. But first, if you're new here, my name is Alex. I post a Java tutorial on this channel every single week. So if you're new here and you might want to see that, then consider clicking that subscribe button. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Exter for supporting this video. Exter makes smart wallets and mobile everyday carry items that are just amazing. Their wallet has quick card access, RFID protection, and is made with premium leather. They have a key tracker so you'll never lose your wallet, and also make amazing iPhone wallet cases. That is the best wallet case I've ever used. Click the link in the description and use code AlexLee15 to get 15% off your order, or use code DAD35 to get 35% off until Father's Day. So click the link in the description to check it out. So let's start learning about the toString method by going to File, New, Java Project. We're gonna call it Learn Together, because that's what we're doing. On the source folder, go to new class. We'll call it something coding is fun. I like that. Public static void main, and then finish. The toString method helps you print an object. So what happens when you print an object is that it prints its memory location, like this little blob, which isn't really useful. So what you can do is add a toString method to that class that prints out important information that's not a blob. So to demonstrate that, let's make a new class. We'll call it student. Inside we'll have like a student ID and maybe a name. We'll make a little constructor, which is what happens when we make the student object. It'll run this code. So what we want to do is set the student ID and the name through the constructor, and set the one up top equal to the one in the parameter, and then the name up top to the name in the parameter, if I can spell. So here's our little student object. Now let's make the student in the main method. Since this is in the same folder, this coding is fun class, which contains the main method, is in the same folder as the object. We don't have to import it at the top. What we can do is just call it directly. So we can say student s equals new student. Usually what we would do to make objects is do something like this, where the constructor at the end has nothing in the parentheses. But since we made our own constructor, what this did is it overrode the default. So now we have to have these two parameters in here. And that's an int for a student ID and a string name. So a student ID, say maybe this is student 1, and his name is Bruce. Let's call this S1, and let's make another student S2. He's number 2, and his name is Jackie. Now let's print out Bruce and Jackie. S1, S2, and let's see what happens. Here's that blob I was talking about. So when you try to print an object, so S1 is a student object, S2 is a student object. If you print out any kind of object, it'll print out its place in memory. Unless there is a toString method that replaces this memory with something valuable. So to do that, you go to your class, and we're just going to treat this like any other method. The toString method is a method still. Whenever we make a student object, we want to access this method, so we'll make it public. The toString method returns a string, so we just type that here. And we have to call it toString, just like this. It has to be this exact name so it knows to replace the original memory printing with what we want. So we'll just finish it off like a normal method and return what we want. In this case, we'll return, say, student ID and the name separated by a space. So now if we save and run this, now we get 1 Bruce and 2 Jackie. What happened is when we made this student object, it came packaged with a default constructor and a default toString method. We made our own constructor to make it a little easier to make student objects, so we can just pass in the ID and the name. And we also overrode the toString method, which just means we made it in here and then put our own code inside. So that way, when we create these student objects, S1 and S2 now know a toString method, which is the one in here. Since it's inside of a print statement, it automatically calls that toString method. So what we could also do is do .toString, and this would do the exact same thing. It would run the code that we added. If we take this out, it would run the original memory code. So that's really it. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.